Hey, everybody, it's Dave here, and we're live at the 2-minute warning. What a game so far. What a game so far. Yes, Anna, this has been a close game. Almost too close. Too close for comfort, that is. And now the Bears have the ball, and they look to be driving with 2 minutes left, only down by 1 point. It would be nice if we got another turnover. But we'll see what happens. Who knows? Let's run the roll-in. Welcome to Vikings First and SKOLs, live at the 2-minute warning. Next. Hey, everybody, it's Dave here once again, pouring myself another weeded bourbon by Redemption as we wait for the last 2 minutes to start. Dalton says that, hey, Josh has not been good for most of this game, and he is 100% correct. SKOL Clifford, welcome to the show. Stephen Wright, yes, there's been some poor play calling, yes, I would call it that. Brian SKOL, and welcome to the show. Clifford, this is a piss poor game plan by KOC. I agree with you 100%. And the slipper comes off Dobbs. We knew we were playing with house money, and as I told friends during the show, I think we ran out. Chuck, glad you could join us. I don't know if you'd want to barf during this, and speaking of which, I got the TV sound going. I'll mute that. There we go. So we don't have that. We don't need to listen to commercials. Brian, welcome to the show. And yes, too conservative to the end. Brandon, go Vikings. Yes. Should they have gone for the long field goal? There's a question. Right before that, should they have gone rather than punt? Ron, it's been pretty pathetic so far. Yes. When a grand total, the score is 10-9. That's pretty bad for a Vikings team that wants to compete. Mike, welcome to the show. D has kept us in it. Absolutely. Here we go. We have Fields running outside, and he picks up about 4 yards. All right. Mike, why are the Vikings playing so conservative? I have no idea, Mike. Brian never can get out of a close game. It sure doesn't seem that way. Turnovers are killing us, but we're back to the -2 where it's about 50-50 whether we win this game or not. Clifford's yelling, no. Kerry says, turn Madison loose. I've seen both of them run tonight. They've had some good runs and some bad runs. And there we go. The Bears pick up a first down on Fields' legs. Hey, Steven, if we get this win, yes, it will be nice. If we lose by a couple points, Mike says Madison has played well. He's had some good runs tonight. That I agree. Come on, get a sack. He's dropped back. He's under pressure. Wanham's chasing him around. He got hit as he threw it away. All right. Minute 15 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Brian, 12-10 final. I hope not, Brian. I hope not. We'll find out, though. Much needed win and playing poorly. Yes, it would be. It'd be a gift. I would consider it that. Felix, who's in the lead right now? Vikings are in the lead 10-9. And the Bears have the ball right around the 50-yard line. Just over it. They're getting ready to snap. Fields the shotgun. Fields the snap. Drops back. Bounces around. He has plenty of time now. He's under pressure from Danielle Hunter. And he throws it away in the process. Yes. David James, after the Dobbs interceptions, the Vikings should think about starting Jaron Hall. I would like to think that, but I wouldn't bet on it. Mike said he'll be back. I'm ahead of him. Yep. I'm watching a live ABC broadcast, which means the absolute minimal delays. Clifford, they can't sack this guy. Yeah, well, he's got legs and he can move, but they've had him under pressure all night, Clifford. Got to give him that. All right, here we go. It's 3rd and 10. Snap back. Fields looks around, bounces around, guns it down the middle of the field to a wide open receiver, whoever the heck number 2 is, and he gets held up at the 12. Oh, you got to be kidding me. 55 seconds left. Somebody stopped the clock. I don't see who, and I didn't hear who because I got my TV on mute. Yes, Todd, that sucks. I agree with you wholeheartedly. That sucks. Bears are now in scoring position with 55 seconds left. Clifford saying game over now. It's not quite over yet. Fat lady hasn't sung. Unless you're way ahead of me, Clifford. Dalton, we need an interception. Come on, yes. I would love an interception right about now. Or a fumble, or some shape or form of turnover, yes. See if our defense wins this game, because they've done everything possible to try to win it. Clifford says, we called the timeout, the Bears are out. Yeah, it makes sense. All right, here we go. Fields lines up under center. And there's whistles blown and stuff is whatever. There's a flag. What's the flag for? 12 men on the field? Vikings? What? You got to be... Anyways. And there's a disgusted head coach and defensive coordinator. Brian, somebody's getting fired after this debacle. You never know. Todd says they aren't throwing the ball again. Yeah, they want to just run it and keep it in the middle of the field. Kick the field goal. All right. Fields under center again, takes a snap, kneels down. At the 10. They're setting up for the game-winning field goal is what they're doing. 2nd down. 53 seconds left. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. David Rinaldi, welcome to the show, my friend. And yes, this has been an extremely gross game. I agree with you. Sickening. Well, it is your Minnesota Vikings. They tend to do this to us. Clifford says yes, and their name is Dobbs. Oh, we'll find out, Clifford. I'm not so sure KOC has the fortitude to do something like that. All right, under center, snap, stand up, kneel, at the 12. Okay, this is not of the defense. Number of times the D has stopped them is the only reason we're in this game. That is 100% correct. O has been putrid tonight. I agree with that as well. Whether it be play calling or play execution. Demon. Why do I love and hate the Vikings so much? I don't know. And there goes the field goal attempt. Or is that a replay? I hope that was it. No, that was a replay of the first quarter. Ooh, that'd be nice, though. And they've set up for the field goal. Here comes the field goal team with 44 seconds. 4th down. KOC is Mike Zimmer incarnated. Well, they got a couple of differences between the two, but when it comes to conservative offense play calling, it seems that way. Bonnie says, no, the coach lost us. All right, one of the best kickers in the league, Santos, lines up for a 30-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. Ball a snap, down, kick is in, and it is through. The Bears take a 12-10 lead with 10 seconds left in this game. Todd says, Demon Amen, replay. Yep. Dalton says, block, let's go. That didn't happen. Clifford, I wish football season was in the summer so I could do something else on Sunday instead of watch this. Hell's Demon, well, I'll have to get ready for work, so to finally be able to watch the Viking games since I work graveyard. Well, have a good night at work there, Hell's Demon. Dalton says that's the game. Well, they still got to kick it off. Maybe we can get a miracle by running it back. As Hell's Demon says, he hopes to get a miracle. Let's watch. Let's see if they get a good kick and we can run it back. We'll find out. Either there, they're going to take it to 25 and hope for maybe 2 plays. 10 seconds left, no timeouts. It would be truly Bears-like error for us to pull this one out. Well, that would be fantastic. It's not like they haven't done that before. Now, if the Bears are smart, they might dribble this sucker. We'll find out. Santos comes up to the ball and doink. No, he blasts it through the end zone. No, we're taking it back. Who's got the... Kene Nwangu is out to the 20. He's out to the 30, and he's down approximately at the 35-yard line. Good return by Kene from about 5 yards deep. There's only 5 seconds on the clock. It's going to take divine intervention for the Vikings to pull this one out. They've got 65 yards to go for the score. There's no way in 5 seconds they're going to get it closer and out of bounds for a kick. Felix, if the Bears win, it'll be 4 wins better than last year. Yeah, true. Clifford, ran it out with 10 seconds left. What the hell? The reason is to hope to get, the score. All right, nobody rushing. And he dumps it over to the middle. All right, we're going to start the college plays. No, was that a fumble? Picked up, back, back. Uh-oh. Dobbs is the one that's got it. He throws a forward lateral. Even if it's caught, it's a flag. It's caught. They keep lateraling back and forth. Now Dalton Risner's got it. He's going to stumble, and he laterals it off, and the game is over. Chicago recovers. The forward pass doesn't matter. Kyle thinks this team is a dumpster fire right now. Not so sure. It's close, but Kyle, think of everybody that's gone. That's it, folks. Your Minnesota Vikings go down. They're now a 500 football team as they lose to the Chicago Bears in a final score of 12-10. Defense held them to only 4 field goals. The Vikings offense generated 4 turnovers. Our defense got 2 of them back, but that was it. It was not fun to watch. And we're going to find out. I have Mr. Justin Day joining me on the show right now. What did you think of that puke fest of a game, Justin?
If I had known what I know now, I would have had that boiling hot vat of asphalt that I could plunge my head into delivered tonight. I would have decided to paint my house on the interior in every room so I could just watch the paint dry, because that would have been more entertaining than what the heck we just saw.
Well, you told
I
me
could have sorted my
your socks.
I could have sorted my socks, and I would have had more entertainment than what we just saw. Now, it's only one game, but I'm sorry. I'm done with the Josh Dobbs experiment. I go to Jaron Hall after the bye week. You can call me overreaction all you want. That's fine. I know that, Tyler getting in here for a few minutes, but I'm sorry. The Josh Dobbs thing, it was a nice little surprise. You caught him with the element of surprise in Atlanta and New Orleans. It started to catch up with you, and you got away with it. You didn't get away with it last week against a mediocre at best Denver Broncos team. I know that they strung some games together, but I don't care. The Chicago Bears are bottom feeders, and I said it earlier in the year before we went on our winning streak that we were bottom feeders, and yeah, we did a great job of navigating the waters without Justin Jefferson and the loss of Kirk Cousins, but this team, I'm sorry. We can talk all we want about what's this going to look like with Justin Jefferson back. And yeah, all week we've been saying we should be able to beat the Bears at home without Justin Jefferson. But if you can't beat the Bears at home without Justin Jefferson, it don't matter. None of it matters. I mean, yeah, I know the NFC is weak, and I know with even this loss, we're still in the playoff picture. But, what about this team that you just saw tonight And don't blame the defense, ladies and gentlemen. I've already heard people, or obviously people message me, oh, the defense let him down. No, the defense did not let him down.
They held him to 12 points.
12 bleeping points at home. Now, granted, it's Justin Fields. So it's not like you held Patrick Mahomes at 12 points at home. But it doesn't matter. You can't score 13 points at home against the Bears. Then I don't want to hear about, well, could we make the playoffs this or Justin Jefferson that? If you can't get more than 10 points on your home field, what is with this home? We've been terrible at home this year. What's our record now? 2-4, 2-5?
Yeah, something like that. It's been bad.
I mean, I'm just sorry. When Kirk went down, I said you give the rest of the year to Jaron Hall just to see what you got, and then he gets hurt, unfortunately, and then you bring this guy in and you have a little bit of a magic carpet ride for a couple of weeks. But no, there's nothing that can be gained at this point in the season by playing Josh Dobbs anymore, unless KOC is going to get his head out of his rear end and stop trying to be the smartest damn guy in the room and trying to make Josh Dobbs a pocket passer. What did you do when he had to come off the bench cold? You said, you know what, I'm going to play to his strengths and then we'll work on the rest later. I understand that at some point you're not going to win a championship like that, but for right now anyway, once you realize he can't do much in the pocket, then incorporate some of it. Why do you wait until 7 minutes in the fourth quarter to finally get Dobbs on the move? Anyway, rant's not over, but let me take a breath here. Jeez, oh flip.
No, it was bad. And those that are blaming the defense, how could you? The offense turned over the ball 4 times. They held them to 12 points and got 2 turnovers.
Yeah, no.
On that. There's no way.
The defense wasn't clutch. You know, they finally got the lead. Yeah, they got the lead. Then they got another turnover and the offense goes 3 and out and does absolutely. You just need to pick up 2 first downs and the game's over. 2 first downs. And yes, you should have told your defense, hey, guys, on this play, if they catch it within the 20-yard line, let them score. I mean, you can't really coach that. But, yeah, they would have been better off letting DJ Moore walk into the end zone. They would have been better off doing that, as it turns out. But whatever. It's a gutless, pig-like performance tonight as far as I'm concerned. And does that mean the season's over? No, but, you know, you were gifted. And, again, we all want to figure out how to phrase the Packers beating the Lions, because it's not like we want to celebrate the Packers winning. But bottom line, you were gifted an opportunity this past Thursday with the Lions going down, since you still win this division. And frankly, again, the Lions should have lost against the Bears last week too. But by and large, you were gifted an opportunity where all you had to do is win this game, go into your bye week, and you have everything sitting right in front of you. And they just completely, you know, like I said, to call them yellow belly pigs would be an insult to yellow belly pigs.
Sarah said it's backup QBs. That's what it is. Backup QBs. Yeah. And that's partially true. Yes, without a doubt. This was hard to watch. Now, final stats on the game. We have Joshua Dobbs, who is 22 for 32 for 185 yards. Most of that came in the fourth quarter, as we all know. 1 touchdown pass and 4. Count them, 4 interceptions. Now, most of them weren't his fault.
Mm-hmm.
They bounced off the hands of the receivers.
Right.
1 bounced off the hands of a defender. But he was not throwing on target at all well all night long. Whether it be that first pass to Addison that was about a yard or 2 short. If it had gone further, it would have been all right. Come on, camera. Focus. Well, you're a little blurry. Focus. There we go.
Okay.
And it was the one along Addison when he was wide open along the sidelines. That would have been a yard inside the sidelines. All that sort of stuff. A yard further inside. That would have been 6. It's just, he was off tonight. And that happens. I mean, we've seen signs of that since he started playing with us, but it happens. So it is what it is. Like I said, I've told friends during this show that we've run out of the house money. We're playing with house money and it's run out. So,
yeah. I mean, again, it's one of those deals where it's one of those deals for me. It's like, okay, if you lose Kirk Cousins and then you're running the gauntlet of your schedule and you're just getting mollywopped by teams that are clearly better than you, then you say, well, what can you do? We lost our quarterback. We don't have Justin Jefferson. You lost to a terrible Bears team tonight, and you lost to, at best, a mediocre team last week. So that's what's like, that's what infuriates me. Again, if you were playing the Kansas City Chiefs this week and they were at full throttle and you got mollywopped 41-10, okay, well, that's just life in the big city when you lose your quarterback and your wide receiver. You lost to Justin Fields in the This is the first victory against the NFC North that this group has had.
We were hoping to have Eberflus fired after tonight.
Yeah.
And no. Which may in the long run be a good thing, but no.
Real quick, did you shout out George?
I don't think so.
Shout out to George for becoming the newest member of Vikings First and SKOL. Appreciate you so much, George. We appreciate you.
I did miss that.
And by the way, 34 liking and 8 likes. Come on, get those like numbers up, please. I know we all upset right now, but we got to hit that like button. Come on, yo. Anyway.
Yes, and Aaron RD gave us a chance. They were the only ones. Freddie, we would boat race this team with Justin Jefferson. I would hope so.
I'd like to think so, but I'm not even sure anymore. Now I'm trying to be negative, y'all, but I'm just saying it's what do you say? This team, like I said, it can't get out of its own way sometimes. Yeah. I mean, I jokingly said this on the podcast. The only good takeaway from the Packers winning is that Jordan Love is showing them just enough to say, oh, we don't need to draft another quarterback. All right. Yeah, right. You go ahead and keep on with that Jordan Love guy. And tonight, maybe the Vikings are playing 3D chess, where it's like, you know what? We got to make sure that we make Justin Fields look just good enough so that they don't draft one of those high-end quarterbacks with their number 1 overall pick. Well,
or fire their incompetent head coach.
Right. Exactly. But I'm sorry. To me, this loss is on KOC. I mean, and again, Tyler knows more about this stuff than we do, and he watches way more film, and I'll be interested to get his opinions on it. But to me, it's the one criticism I have had of Kevin O'Connell since he's been here is that there are times he just outthinks himself. It's like, you know what? Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. Yes, if you're on the road in the divisional round of the playoffs against a superior team, you have to do things that you wouldn't conventionally do because that's the only shot you got. You gotta go down swinging. You don't need, or you should not need to do this against the Bears and the Broncos. Okay, you just shouldn't have to. I mean, get Dobbs on some rollouts, make it easy for him. Yeah, he was late on that pass. Again, that first interception was a great play by the defense. They baited him into it, and he completely took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Jordan Addison should have caught the second one. I mean, yeah, it was a laser, but that's what you want your quarterback to do is put it right on you. And for the people saying, oh, Josh Dobbs, he needs to have better touch than that. No, if Kirk Cousins throws that pass, we're saying the same thing. The receiver's got to catch that. So I don't want to hear about, Josh Dobbs is a backup quarterback. That's why that interception happened. No, it happened because it hit Jordan Addison in the hands and it popped off his hands. Now, if that's the only turnover of the game, you just chalk it up to bad luck. But when it's a comedy of errors like that, it's just, like I said, I'm done with the Dobbs experiment. It was fun. And at the very least, if you're going to continue to do what you're doing, then you might as well change quarterbacks. If you're not going to change quarterbacks, then play to his strengths. And then when you get Justin Jefferson back in there, continue to play to his strengths and then build off of that because you're going to see different coverages because JJ is going to get doubled and all that sort of stuff. But as far as right now, as far as tonight goes, that was just painful. It was nails on a chalkboard, poke your eyes out with a pencil and it would have been less painful. Freddie says, I need a shot. No, we need more than one shot right now, Freddie. What's going on, Tyler? How you doing?
I at least got to eat muffins tonight. My wife baked chocolate chip muffins. That's
yeah.
Listen, there's a lot I can say about this game, and we're going to have a lot more on this on both Vikings Wire and the Real Forno Show, but I want to start here. You can't go with Josh Dobbs moving forward. And this isn't coming from me as a massive, massive Jaron Hall fan, which, yes, I am. Look, you had the magic, and it's not working. anymore. The magic is gone. And now you are sitting where Josh Dobbs is, and you still have a question mark in Jaren Hall. You spend the next 2 weeks getting Hall ready to go, and you roll with Hall for the rest of the year and see what happens. He's not the hot hand anymore. There's nothing hot about Josh Dobbs. And you squander a performance from this defense. They were crapped on by the offense all game. And really the only big play they allowed was that DJ Moore dagger. And you got to know that the in route is always open on dagger. And for a team that doesn't rush 4 guys, they rushed 4 a lot in this game. And then it left some stuff open in the middle of the field. And it cost them. No one singular play lost this game. But should Kevin O'Connell have called or challenged that Jordan Addison deep post in the first play? Dave, that was one of my keys to the game. Get Addison going deep, and they called a shot on the first play, and you might have been able to get that overturned. And if you do, that changes the entire complexity of the game. It was a maybe, but he obviously had intel that said he shouldn't have done it, and he didn't. The screen game, not effective. It just wasn't. Aaron asks, why not challenge? Well, if you have intel that says you're not going to win, or it's going to be
wasted,
it's the first play of the game, and then you're stuck with one challenge throughout the rest of the game. That is one of the reasons why the Vikings didn't have a challenge when they should have against the Saints. They didn't want to use their last challenge. It's just one of those things.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm also going to say that I think that play was going to stand no matter what was called on the field, because both the defender and and Addison got their hands on the ball, and it could have just as easily. You remember when KLC challenged one thing and it ended up backfiring him because they saw something else? You could easily make the argument that was picked off. Now, I don't think that they would have changed it to an interception or a reception. I think they would have gone with what was called on the field because it was just so bang, bang, at least from the angles that I saw. But I agree with your overall premise that using a challenge on the first play of the game, you've got to be 100. You've got to be 100% that for an absolute certainty that that's going to go your way, because, like you said, being stuck with one challenge, 59 minutes. Well, it wasn't 59 minutes because they got the ball second, but you get my point. That being stuck with one challenge for the rest of the game is a tight spot to be in. And by the way, I'd like to know what the rules are about an expedited replay when Jordan Addison. It was the correct call, but Chicago didn't even have to challenge when Addison made that catch and his knee was down, got up and ran for a little bit because, okay, where does that line get drawn as to when something else happens the other way where it's like, well, you didn't challenge that. Okay, well, I was waiting for this expedited replay because I thought it was pretty obvious. Does anybody know what the rules are with this expedited replay nonsense?
Yeah, I do. So here's kind of how expedited replay works. If they can confirm it almost immediately on like 1 or 2 watches of the replay, they will signal down to the refs and say, hey, we've changed it. If it's something that's a close call, that's not going to be expedited. Expedited is, hey, his knee was blatantly down and we're going to flip it on the field because it's a blatant result. And I like that. I think it's good practice. I think you could probably grow that down the line to a little bit more. But like it hindered the Vikings, but at the same time, it's great process. And we always talk about here, great process is better than great results because great process will lead to great results. You want to continue to have great process. And I think that's a net benefit for the referees. I'm just very annoyed. We lost to the damn Bears.
And I don't remember any bad calls tonight.
No, the Bears,
a lot of calls that went our way, but I don't remember.
The Bears were trying to give that game back to us with all those penalties.
But and that's just
here. You take this game. No, you take this game. Nobody wants to win this game. Here, you have this. Oh, it was ridiculous. I'm sorry.
JJ Vikings wants to win Super Bowl before he turns 18. JJ, I'm 60.
Yeah, the line is usually we want to see one before we die, and Jay just, hey, can I get one before I graduate high school? I don't know about that, but shout out nephew in the building. What's up?
We'd love one. I'd love one in that time frame, please. But
was the play calling as bad as it seemed to me, Tyler? We said this before you got on here, because I'm trying to figure out how much do you parcel KOC, it appears to me, my naked eyes, my Monday morning quarterback backup eyes here, that it's like, why are you trying to make this guy a pure pocket passer? Why are you not taking advantage of some of the things that he does well? I realize you're not, at some point you can't live and die by that, because that's only going to get you so far. But it appears that they rarely, if ever, tried to do any of that up until the fourth quarter. Did I miss something here? What do you think?
I think there were a lot of execution issues tonight, and I'm a little bit flabbergasted why they're not utilizing his mobility more. I also think part of it is the fact that he got here like 3 weeks ago, and that's a big part of this conversation. That wasn't a big part of the offense. It wasn't a part of the offense at all with Kirk Cousins. So I don't know if they want to necessarily implement a lot of new things right away until they feel like Dobbs has a really cohesive grasp of the playbook. That's my tinfoil hat theory. I genuinely don't know. I would like to see him moved on like a little bit more, and they did a little more of that. It was like 3 or 4 plays instead of 1 or 2, but I didn't have a really big issue with the play calling. I had a big issue with execution. And I think that's a lot of the disconnect between why people are saying that KOC's play calling is bad, because they're seeing the results. They're not seeing what the play call really was. None of us can truly see it because we don't have the all-22 view. And that's why I've always encouraged everybody, get NFL Plus, watch the all-22. You'll become a more educated fan. And even if you don't know 100% of what's going on, you'll be able to see, oh, I thought there was somebody open on this play. And why did he throw it short? Well, there's nothing, and he had to get the ball out. Okay, that's not necessarily in the play calling. It's the execution. And that's, I'm just trying to get that into people's heads. It's not about just what the play call is. You still have to run it. And TJ Hawkinson is going to get a lot of grief from me. That 4th down play, you got to run that out past the sticks. You can't run it flat at the stick. You have to go past it. And Dobbs blew it too, because that ball placement was the reason why Hawkinson had to come back, leave his feet, and then Kyler Gordon was able to drive him out of bounds and prevent him from getting or reaching across for the first down. You have to, absolutely have to run that past the sticks. Saw a couple of people joking like, oh, they're throwing short of the sticks again with Hawkinson. This isn't a 4th and 8 and you throw it 3 yards. This is a 4th and 8 and you threw it. You're trying to throw it 8 yards. Hawkinson did not run it deep enough, and Dobbs did not throw it well enough. And just, it's little things. They say this is a game of inches. Inches matter. They matter a lot. And you have to do the little things right. You absolutely have to. The Vikings didn't. They didn't do the little things right at all. And it was because of Danielle Hunter and Josh Metellus that they even had a chance in this game, because of those 2 turnovers. And I think if you're going to talk about the play calling, criticize it all, Justin, I think you can criticize the lack of aggressiveness on that last drive, the 3 and out, because I think if you'd be like, okay, if we get 1 first down and drain some of this clock, then, hey, maybe we can kick the field goal and it's a 4-point lead and the Bears can't score a touchdown on us. Because the Vikings didn't allow them to score 1 touchdown. It was 5 field goal attempts, 4 of them made, 1 trip to the red zone. Sorry, 2 trips to the red zone. So they're 0-2 on red zone trips for touchdowns. That's impressive. That's great.
Now,
you have to.
On that last drive where they punted, should they have gone for the field goal?
You can make that argument, but a 61-yard field goal, he's made them before in this building. It's not a guarantee. And with how the defense was playing, I'm fine. I'm not quite sure what the analytics had to say about it. I'm fine with them punting it, trying to pin them deep, and making Justin Fields drive the length of the field. Because Fields, outside of running the ball and throwing some dump-offs, hadn't done anything down the field all game. Well, he did 1 time, and it happened to be that pass to DJ Moore. But if you stopped it all game, and Fields has shown no aptitude to be able to make those throws, why would you expect him to all of a sudden do it in a 2-minute situation? So I get the logic. I think it's fine, but you just can't lose that game. You can't. 6-6.
And yet they did.
I would
had a
not have
chance-
kicked the field goal. No, I wouldn't have.
I-
You give them
like,
10 extra yards if you miss it, just like they did. I forget which game. They all start to run together now. They all start to run together. But no, I think punting was the right choice. I will say this. What's up with our punter? We used to love the right
Mr.
guy.
Wright was hot until
yeah.
season.
Yeah.
punting's
But
hard,
again,
man.
yeah.
That's
Well,
it's hard. I don't know enough about punting to answer that question, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Clifford thinks the Raiders are going to clean our clocks. We'll see.
Well, the Vikings have 2 weeks, and they expect Justin Jefferson back for that Raiders game. It's the first time they've said they expect him back.
mhm.
So that's a big step. I'm at a loss here. This
Right.
game,
What do you
man,
say?
I really don't think you can start Josh Dobbs in 2 weeks. You want a playoff
I
berth?
agree.
Dobbs has laid 2 duds. You had Jaron Hall who showed some flash. Give the young guy the ball and see what happens. You know what? You know what the worst possible scenario is? You give the ball back to Dobbs.
Yeah, we lose some more. That's it.
Frustrating.
But it's kind of it's the thing. Your defense plays so well throughout the game, and yeah, did they come up clutch by the letter of the law and the word definition of clutch? No, they didn't. It kind of reminds me of the Saints game in 2009 where they held Drew Brees and company to like 200 some yards. 2 of their touchdowns they got because one, the Vikings fumbled the ball at the 9-yard line, and that sort of thing. But it's just like you said, they wasted a defensive performance. They absolutely wasted one. So with that being said, gentlemen, I have got to head out here this evening. Got a little early start tomorrow. So everybody hit that like button on your way in. Wipe your feet at the door. If you don't already subscribe to Vikings First and SKOL on YouTube or your favorite podcast aggregator, as well as Purple and Gold for Days on the YouTube. I will be on tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central Time with my compatriot Rap from Purple Pocket Podcast. I'm guessing we might have a little something to say about that.
And when will we see your midweek podcast?
To be determined, because I don't think I'm cutting up any of tomorrow. So I might have to record something twice tomorrow. But one way or the other, boss, I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you.
Good. Well, you have a
Thank
good
you,
night,
Justin.
Justin. And
You
thank
as
you
well,
for
gentlemen.
hopping on.
Always. Good night.
Oh, this is crazy. The defensive play, and I do want to highlight that before we go off the air, is that Ivan Pace Jr. led the team with 9 tackles, 7 solo, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss. Danielle Hunter came in with 9 total, 6 solo, 1.5 sacks, which should give him another $1 million bonus if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And 2 tackles for loss. Danielle was everywhere tonight. I have not seen him play so well. Wow, it was fantastic. And then Josh Metellus split that half sack with Danielle, and he had 9 tackles, 5 solo. Cameron Bynum was not far behind with 8 and 6. Folks, that's an outstanding performance by those gentlemen. And right behind that was Mekhi Blackman with 6 tackles, all 6 of them solo. And all those guys, except for Danielle Hunter, are young. You're looking at core of this defense going quite a while. And if they lock up Danielle, that's, and keep Flores, hopefully, that'll be fantastic. Yes, Roger, he's playing for his contract, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, if it's motivation that keeps him that way, go for it. He's already stated he wants to be a Vikings for life. Well, let him. Let the team turn around and pay for him. I'd rather put the money there than a washed-up 36-year-old quarterback coming in from an Achilles being blown. But that's Dave. We'll find out. But he did fantastic, and he has been doing great all year. So,
yeah, this is brutal. I'm kind of at a loss for words right now because I'm just so
are you going
annoyed.
to advocate for the Hall train, or are we going to get like Mr. Luke Braun saying the one that should start is Nick Mullins?
Oh, Luke's saying Nick Mullins?
I've heard a lot. I thought it was Luke that said that the Vikings would go with Nick Mullins because he's the proven backup.
No, I think Luke's been on the Hall train to my knowledge. I know earlier.
I've heard it across the board on different shows, so I thought it was Luke, but it may be somebody else. Maybe it's Matthew Collar.
Yeah, and I guess that would be you. I don't listen to Matthew Collar, and I only listen to Luke kind of after I form my own opinions because I really respect and like him a lot. I know Judd talked about maybe you put Mullins in the second half earlier tonight because Dobbs just wasn't playing well. And outside of that one drive, Dobbs did not play well at all. And having him play as poorly as he did, and you just continue with that, is just so frustrating. But at the end of the day, do you really trust a guy like Mullins to come in cold like that? Do you expect him to be better? I think they're just kind of riding Dobbs and just figuring out where this goes. I do think Hall's, you got to really consider him for 2 weeks. The Vikings have 2 road games, both winnable, Raiders and Bengals. And then you have like a 3-game swing against the NFC North. You had a chance to get within 1.5 games tonight of the Detroit Lions, and you didn't. You blew it against the Bears.
Yes, which gives life to the wonderful team from the home of cheese.
Yeah, it does. But you know what? If I want to make the playoffs, I want to shot at the Super Bowl every single year. And the only way to do that is by making the dance. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if this team just doesn't make the dance. You'd get a higher draft pick and you'd be able to posture that for an improved roster by having a higher draft picks. You're not going to cheer for that, but it's an unintended consequence of losing games. Like, you just get better picks. So that's objectively good. This whole thing just is like, man.
GMAC says none of our QBs are going to win us playoff games if we somehow pull that out of our butts.
You know what? The way they've been playing the last couple of weeks, GMAC, you're right. There's no way you can expect this kind of performance to deliver any kind of postseason success. Like, Kirk Cousins at playing the way he was could deliver the Vikings a playoff win. But the way things are going right now, the Vikings are going to waste a really good defense because of poor quarterback play. Man, it's Vikings have a really good defense. It's so weird.
Go from the worst defense last year to one of the best, and we're going to waste it.
Yep.
Roscoe says strategy for the game was terrible. No attempt to establish the run. They did try to run, but you got to also remember, Roscoe, that believe it or not, the Bears are the best team against the run in the last 6 games. I want
to say this. I think we can put to bed that Ty Chandler is the better running back than Alexander Madison. Madison played very well tonight. He was seeing the field. He was really good in pass blocking, and he busted out a couple really nice runs. The thing is, Madison doesn't have the juice that Chandler has. So when Chandler gets going, it looks and it pops. It feels better. It feels bigger. Madison's the better running back. And I hope that people saw that tonight. And in that limited action, I'm going to have to pull up the numbers as I have them.
Alexander Madison, 10 carries for 52 yards, 5.2. Ty Chandler, 4 carries for 8 yards and a 2.0.
Look, that 52 yards, none of that was fake. He was earning those yards. He was moving the ball down the field. He was doing really good. And, man, just frustrating. This whole thing is frustrating. He needs to figure it out. Like, this whole team needs to figure it out, and they're going to have 2 weeks to figure it out, which is the good thing. The Vikings can still go 5-0 down the stretch, finish 11-6, and make the playoffs and potentially win the division. And
it's crazy.
That's possible. But they're still in the driver's seat for a wild card berth. That's the good thing.
Yeah, because the NFC as a whole is not so good. But we shouldn't be. The AFC has some teams that are sitting in that boat too.
Mm-hmm.
The whole NFC South is who's the best of the worst down there.
And the NFC South is atrocious. It's so bad. We're 3-1 against the NFC South. We probably should have beaten the Bucks, and they're 4-7 after starting 3-0. This is just a really weird season. A lot of quarterback injuries, and the Vikings have been dealing with it.
Did you want to hop on there, buddy? I thought you didn't want to hop on primetime games. What the heck are you doing awake?
Well, he might be awake, but I don't know. I don't blame him for not jumping on. Dude is in Germany. It's a little hard to.
Yeah, it's probably 4:40 in the morning there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be asleep, especially after that game. I'd be asleep. But it's good to see you, Jonas. Glad you could join us. Well, have you got any last bits to say before we break all this down on Wednesday?
I'm done with Dobbs. I'm not going to say anything else is the answer, but the constant ball placement issues over the last few weeks, the ball placement to TJ Hawkinson, a ball placement on the throw deep to Addison. Jonas, I don't blame you. I'm really upset too. And
540.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's absolutely brutal. They need to figure this out. And you know what? I think they will figure it out in time. I think next year we'll be in a better spot because of multiple factors, including year 3 of the Kwesi Adofo-Mensah Kevin O'Connell plan. I also think that you need to find a speed receiver. That third guy needs to be a burner.
Powell did a great job.
Powell is fast, but he is a short area quickness kind of guy. He is not a deep threat.
True.
The Vikings need to find a legit deep threat. He is not a deep threat in that sense. Like, being able to do it versus being it are two different things. Like, and Addison just is not, or Addison and Jefferson are not true deep threats. They're guys who are going to kill you over the middle of the field with their route running and ability to create space and after the catch. They need a guy who can go win deep. And there's going to be plenty of options in this draft class, Dave. There's a lot of talent, a lot of it. And the Vikings might need to consider using like a top 64 pick on a wide receiver again.
Hey, TYA, how you doing, my friend?
We are going to have a lot more about this on Wednesday. It will be a taped show.
Yes, sir.
Most likely. But it will start at 6:05, regardless if it's live or taped. And we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a good time. And Jonas, I hope you're able to get a Red Bull before work, man. An absolutely brutal way to spend a Tuesday, dealing with not getting sleep from this loss. Yeah, we're going to have a lot more. This is... I'm kind of at a loss for words right now overall. The Vikings defense was great. I liked how aggressive they were, but they also weren't at times. I thought they could have played a little bit better contained overall, but I also thought that while trying to also get pressure on Fields, which is how you want to beat him, they were still able to contain him within a segment. So if it was in the pocket, they slid everything out to the right, and they were able to contain him in that quadrant and not allow him to run around and make a lot of plays. And I think that's where the Vikings defense has been the most successful this year. We'll see if they can capitalize on this defense moving forward, because the offense needs to put up their end. And tonight, they didn't. And it was from a lot of different levels. Brian O'Neill got smoked by Montez Sweat multiple times tonight. It was so bad early on that they were having CJ Ham as the third down back just to provide a little bit of extra beef in pass protection. That's how you know things are bad. Dobbs was fun. He seems like a great human. He's really intelligent. He's got ability. He's just not using it. And it's...
Yeah, and
we can take
blame that he hasn't had the whole off season and the timing and all that. But yes,
I think we can take off the table an extension. I really do.
Yeah. And but he is what he's been.
Yeah.
That he's a backup quality quarterback. That's
Todd, congratulations for not having to go see Bears fans tomorrow. I will also not be leaving my house and go see Bears fans tomorrow. So you and I are going to be in the same boat.
And I'll be doing other things once I turn the show around. And yes. So that's it. Well, folks, another gut-wrenching, disgusting loss by your Minnesota Vikings. Signs of just outstanding play on the defense and giving away on the offense. Jonas, I hope you get that couple hours of sleep, and you have a great day. And that goes for everybody. Have a great Tuesday. We're in the holiday season already. It kicked off on Thursday. Be happy, be joyful. It is what it is. Anybody that's been a Vikings fan a long time knows this stuff happens, and we press on.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And you know what? We still have 5 Vikings football games at minimum for the rest of the year. We're going to enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
And then once those games are done, guess what we're going to be doing, Dave?
Draft talk.
Heavy NFL draft talk. I am going to have a stupid amount of guests. We are going to be pumping out a lot of video content for you. A lot of like 10 to 15 minute-esque shows where we bring on a guest and we talk about a prospect or two. And we're gonna have a ton of that. We're gonna have extensive talk about the quarterbacks. We're gonna have talk about wide receivers, running backs, defensive linemen, offensive linemen, you name it. We're gonna talk about them, and we're gonna get you all the information that you need to know. Don't forget, Real Forno Show on Wednesday. Don't forget everything that we have on the podcast feed. Dave does a lot of really cool stuff, including stuff with multiple hosts from NFC North teams. And we have Justin's Midweek Musing Show. And you're not going to want to miss anything. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out our premium tiers on YouTube, which is where you'll be able to catch some of these interviews before anyone else this draft season. And it's a great way to support the show financially. And if you can't do that, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Those are things that are free of charge that help just the same. For Dave, I'm Tyler. I'm going to go drink some more Busch Light. If you want to sponsor me, Busch Light, please give me a call. SKOL Vikings.
SKOL Vikings, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And share this episode with your friends and even your enemies. We'd love it. Thanks for watching Vikings First and SKOL. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network, and we appreciate each and every one of you. SKOL.